Good morning, TikTokers, YouTubers. So Lebanese gangs growing up with Lebanese gangs. I grew up in an area called Marylands slash Guildford. Lived in Guildford, but more was like I went to Marylands High, I went to Guildford West. More people might know that area. It's in the middle of Sydney's west, like smack bang in the middle. Lot of Lebanese families there. Obviously easily the best off, no matter what anyone says. The Ibrahims, like obviously, all these other families come through and they all get taken out and popped off, and yeah, they just get erased. But these guys, all the top people from them are still there, still all around, retired, not doing anything. But yeah, so it is what it is. So I grew up in that area, went to school with a few of them. Knew a few of them, friends with a few of them. They've been around for a long time, and some of them are criminals, some of them were criminals, some of them aren't, some have done crimes, some haven't. It's just, some are smart, some aren't smart. Just like me, I wasn't smart. I went to fucking jail 100 times until I found art and become a father. So yeah, growing up around there, they lock areas down, like they got the areas locked down, and you'll always have a family come through. It's just they grow up like near war zones or through war and all that stuff, and it just becomes you come over here and it's not that it can't get out of you, but it just doesn't get out of you. They run all the drugs in all the areas, they import guns, they do everything. So yeah, it's pretty fucking hectic. Gets pretty hectic, even down used to be like the Marylands and Guildford and all them Lebos, and the now you'd say Arabs because it's like Afghanis, Iraqis, Lebanese, but they're all everybody comes from where they come from, but to me everybody's human, so it is what it is. You've got the Bankstown Lebanese, or the Arabs now, Middle Eastern, but then they start to fight between each other, like if they all join force, could you imagine the force they'd be? Like fucking hell. Like obviously the biggest gang is the police force, but yeah, they give them a run for their money, that's for sure. Yeah, they control everything, and it's very hard. Like if you want to be an Aussie and a gangster in that area, you're not going to be at the fucking top, like running around in that area with millions of fucking you're pretty much in the Middle East there, you know what I mean? It's like kind of trying to be the president of Lebanon. Like it's not going to happen, so I learned that. I had a lot of fights, had a lot of even though I had a lot of friends, I still had a lot of fights with other boys, because none of them are ever going to back down to you because you're the Aussie. Do you know what I mean? Like you're the Aussie guy, so everyone has to fight you. Lucky for me, I knew how to fight. Otherwise I just would have got bumped all the time. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to mention any names, but everyone knows who the big names are around them areas, and the big wars, and that it's been going on for 20 plus years. The Asians were around then. I was in Asian gangs around then. Asian gangs were everywhere, but the Arabic and they just started to come into power. Just started joining the bikie groups who were mainly Australian before that, and had most of the power, ran most of the drugs. Were like the big, when we talk about big deals and that. Yeah. So they are the Lebanese. Sorry, it's hard to talk without watching what you say, because I'm not a fucking Channel 9 commentator. I'm a fucking I'm born that and there. You don't want to drop names and fucking say the wrong thing about people. But yeah, a lot of shootings started to come into play. Drive-by shootings, fucking shootings in public, fucking hits. There weren't that many hitmen back in the day, but now it's just like it's cool to be a hitman. Back in the day, you probably get 5-10 grand for a hit, and people thought that was cool. But now you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, because the money the drugs bring in, like so much fucking money, like fucking hectic, And it's not so much that that it's because of them, or you can blame that nationality. It's also the areas, If you notice Sydney, when people come in and come from overseas, and they are like immigrants from overseas, they segregate them all, and this is what they do in jail. So you know what I mean? Like if you're around the Parramatta area, the Harris Park, you've got the Indians, Marylands and Guildford. You've got the Lebanese, Guildford, the Islanders. You go to Fairfield, Cabramatta and all that, you've got all the Asians. And that's what happens, you head out to Manly, and you got all these fucking South American people and fucking. So you do notice that it gets very segregated. The North Shore, it's pretty much they don't send immigrants there. It's just like all the rich Australians, or that were. But you know, obviously, as time's gone on and we become more of a multicultural society, that other people get money and they move out there and in there. So yeah. So it's all the power to them. So to me, but everybody's human. You can't blame races for races and for being who they are. But yeah, they have the power in jail because they have the money, they have the drugs, and that's what comes with money and drugs comes power. Yeah, so I hope everyone has a good day. There's a little insight into the Lebanese mostly, but also, you know, Iraqi, Syrian, Afghani's pretty hectic, you know, but they just went through a hectic war with the US, so that's understandable, as comes from any from anything. But yeah, you go up Blacktown. I remember when I was younger, you go up Blacktown Way, and all the Africans started to move in that way, and yeah, so pretty hectic growing up around them times, because that's when, you know, people are trying to establish themselves, nationalities are trying to establish themselves. When you have a minority, not obviously, but often they will get picked on by a majority. So yeah, and then all of a sudden they become the majority, and then, you know, you're the minority, and it's a little bit weird, you know. People often ask me about what it was like growing up down there, but yeah, that's what it was like, you know. But you know, if you're a good bloke and you don't do shit goes and you have a go and you're alright, then it doesn't matter if you're Aussie or not. It just yeah, it really matters who you are inside and what you're willing to do. But sometimes you just got to step up to the plate a bit more, because you become the minority. But love you all. Have a good day. TikTokers, YouTubers. If you want to hear any stories or anything about growing up, I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, went to jail pretty much since then until 2019, become an artist. And so yeah, any stories, any insights you want to get in of my insights or what I think about things, then just drop it in the messages or hit me up, DM me. But love you all. Have a great day. Do something nice for somebody and work it out.